There we go. It's just, you can barely see me at all. Like, I'm so white that whatever light does happen to be in here, it reflects off of me. So it's like, you can kind of see me, but not really. I'm quite literally,
No, I've got you beat.
Fair enough. But you also have, like, hairs all over you, too, in comparison to me. I'm not.
They're blonde, they're just there.
Yeah, barely.
You know what that kind of reminds me of?
Hmm.
Like a dinner table at a fucking old place.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I feel like, I'm starting to be at, like, one of those old town fucking, like, 1800s
I like it.
shit.
It's kind of nice, but I mean, we need to have, like,
more of, like, actual lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if we had, like, dim lit room lights and then had, like, candles along with it, like these, that'd actually be pretty dope, because it'd actually have, like, a cool light aesthetic in the room, but when it's, like, no fucking power and then just candles, it really minimalizes a lot of light that can actually be taken advantage of. Because now we're all dark in here.
Okay, Mr. Flea.
But I can also use this for very creepy memes.
God.
Gonna haunt your soul tonight, boy. Look quite pretty.
You guys breaking that up?
Look quite pretty, boy.
What your problem is? I ain't got no gas.
Ain't no gas in that. Considering how late I'm starting this, I doubt there's gonna be that much stream activity. Now I just gotta realize.
Hold that over here so I can see, so I don't die. I want my spot back. Motherfucker. Okay, I'm good. I got my spot back.
Sweet.
So what do you have at the bar?
I had like this thing called Western Burger. It's just like barbecue, onions.
Okay, I've got a question. Is it down off Johnson Creek Road?
It's off Linwood.
Oh, so it's down that road.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. Is it right there in the where the complex?
Yeah.
The
Like the Chevron over there, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Across the street from that, like that little mart area. It's right in there.
That little shopping market where the
like
barber drop is.
Like you legit wouldn't be able to miss it because there's a big old sign that says it. So. It's a dope spot. Like, I made kind of some acquaintances there. They were like, hey, you can hang out with us. We love your dog. You're so cute. And I went over there and hung out with him for a little bit, while they were playing some pool. And I kept playing some pool on my own and shit like that. So, I mean, pretty much every time I brought him there so far, like half of the people at the bar will come up to him and be like, can I pet him? He's so sweet. He's so handsome.
Have you thought of going to the one that's down, Johnson Creek?
Jumbo's? I've been there once.
The one that's right on the corner?
I think that's Jumbo's, ain't it? I think so.
I don't go to bars.
I think that's what it is, and I've been there once. It's not too bad. The Chinese food there is actually pretty good. They're like a bar / like tiny pool hall because they have like 2 or 3 pool tables, and then they got a Chinese chef that makes Chinese food there, which is actually pretty good. On top of some other stuff too, but the Chinese food is actually legit pretty good at Jumbo's.
Yeah, I jacked one of the candles to around my nightstand.
No, that's fine. I mean, I have a whole bunch of them for this reason. I was meaning to get some more, but just because I was, rushing at least fit over to Wichita, I was, I say fuck that, so I'll just do that tomorrow. But nonetheless, talk of the burnt fish and juicy asparagus MC. Burnt fish and juicy asparagus? That sounds like a you problem that happened there, and now you want to try to,
That's disgusting.
expose that and express it to everybody else here.
That is disgusting.
Burnt fish, I mean, yeah, that sounds kind of gross. Juicy asparagus, I mean, with the right seasoning, can probably be good, because
Yeah.
I know, I'm the same way. I'm picky about asparagus. But I've had
I'm picky about fucking cauliflower.
Well, cauliflower is different from asparagus.
Asparagus tastes like ass.
I mean, just in itself, but if you like,
season it and do it right.
Yeah, stir fry it up and shit. Juicy asparagus isn't a problem, it's a feature. I didn't say it was a problem, I'm just saying that, like, if seasoned right, it could probably be pretty fire, but it has to be seasoned all up pretty good. Because the only time I've legit had, like, quality asparagus was up in Iceland and a few high-quality restaurants around here. But
this is how I have to put it.
outside of that, I've never had
If you get
really
burnt
good asparagus.
fish, you need to send that shit back.
I mean, well, I'm assuming he probably made it himself, but if it's burnt fish, then, yeah, I mean...
How can you...
I don't know. Don't ask me. I never burnt my fish. I might have, like, made it so it's a little golden brown and nice and crispy on the outside a little bit. Maybe, like, cook it longer than it needs to, but I never, like... I bet Iceland makes great asparagus. Yeah, when I was at the steakhouse, when I tried a horse, my mom had some asparagus, like some salted seasoned asparagus with her dish. And I gave her a little bit of my salad in exchange for, like, 2 bits of asparagus. And asparagus is legit really fucking good.
I still can't believe you had horse.
I
still can't believe you had horse.
It's honestly legit really good. I mean, you would think that it wouldn't necessarily be that good, but it actually really is. Especially with the seasoning they had on it.
You know what we need to try? Squirrel.
I wouldn't mind it.
Okay, that was your dog.
Icelandic salt.
Burning on fire.
Honestly, just a lot of different types of Icelandic salt. Like, I mean, you could buy, like, legit, probably 15 different versions of, like, salts in Iceland, because every salt has, like, slightly different ingredients in it. Like, there would be, like, some lava salts in one. There would be, like, some other... There would legit be, like, some herbs in salts, too. Like and shit. Salt. Like Himalayan salts and stuff?
Pink salts.
Oh, yeah, like the Himalayan pink salt. Yeah, that stuff's pretty good, too. But, honestly, I mean, the Icelandic salts, there's something about that shit.
Expensive.
It is expensive. I mean...
Fucking...
The Icelandic salts are actually legit. I mean, when you buy them there, they're not that bad. But if you buy them and have them imported, those are actually pretty spendy. Because you can get their specific salts, well, mainly for Iceland, because that's where most of that salt is made up from.
I think the only place I haven't gone yet is that there's a Mexican restaurant down by my work that I haven't walked into yet, because I know what's in there. And I don't want to go in there.
What is it?
A Mexican restaurant. Because all their meats are fucking in a case. Like different...
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, yeah. Is Reyka's cheaper in Iceland than in the US? Honestly, I don't remember.
What is it?
Reyka, Icelandic vodka.
Probably cheaper over there.
Yeah, honestly, thinking about it, it probably is, because just given the importation fee and shit like that, it probably is a little bit more expensive up here.
Is that there is a Canadian whiskey, I think it's called Canadian Mist.
There's a lot of different Canadian whiskeys,
it's called Canadian
Mist.
I've
had, like, I know Crown Royal, I think, is one Canadian. Is that not Canadian?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was.
It's US.
Oh, really? I honestly thought that was Canadian.
There's a new one I want to try that I have not got up the nerve to fucking buy. Crown Apple.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But Crown Royal is Canadian, I think. Well, now I'm getting contradictory fucking answers here.
Okay, well, maybe. I don't know.
Well, here, I guess we'll...
Look it up.
Yeah, I'll just look it up, because I have Google right here.
I don't buy... Oh. The only one that I really bought that I really, really like that I'm going to buy again. Jim Beam Peach.
Oh, yeah, Jim Beam is pretty good. Joy Crown Royal Canadian whiskey. Yeah, so it is Canadian. Okay. I kind of figured it was. Crown Royal because of the British and the monarchy, whatever the fuck. You know, that makes sense.
You know the Lipton... How I used to buy Lipton tea?
Yeah.
They make a Lipton Peach.
I know.
And mix it with Jim Beam Peach.
Oh my
fucking god. You
that
get fucking lit
dude,
hard.
that sounds like you get fucking lit quick and amazingly so.
I did.
I'm gonna do that.
I have like this much left.
I'm gonna do that now. That sounds awesome.
Oh dude, it's fucking amazing. I mean, you're gonna pay for the price for the Jim Beam, but getting peach tea on top of it, oh fucking...
I mean, the Jim, yeah, like, I mean, the price fundamentally will go into the liqueur, but still, I mean, sounds amazing, though.
It is. The one I haven't been able to find yet is I might do it one of these days. Is Smirnoff makes flavored vodka.
Mm.
And they make one called Whipped.
Whipped?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like Cool Whip, but whipped.
Hmm.
Everybody really likes it. I hate vodkas. The only one that I had the one I had that was really good that me and Sarah really liked is Citrus Smirnoff and Mountain Dew.
Mm.
That one, oh God, it's so good.
Doesn't Tyler swear by Rebel Yell whiskey? I don't know. Does he? I mean, I'm not honestly 100% too sure. Considering the name Rebel Yell, I mean, that doesn't exactly sound like something that he would swear by. But, I mean, I guess it could. Considering that he likes to see himself as, like, kind of a rebel mentality, I guess.
You know my mom has a flavor for? Fucking Fireball.
Fireball whiskey? No, that's the biggest.
Fireball and Barks is her go-to.
I've never been the biggest fan of Fireballs. I like the more sweeter ones.
Oregon. You know an Oregon whiskey?
Fuck, that stuff is nasty. My mom likes it too, ironically. Oh,
Fuck
Fireball.
I hate it.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of it. It's not really that good.
You like the one I brought home.
Oh, that honey whiskey?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
American honey.
Dude, honey whiskey is fucking amazing.
Especially with Pepsi. It's fucking amazing. God.
Dude, it had when I mixed it with Pepsi, it had a caramel flavor to it, like straight up.
It does because the Pepsi has more sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I think it has that caramel coloring and flavoring in it too.
Really good. Mango Pepsi and vodka.
Oh fuck.
Not like a cheap fucking vodka.
If I got the Reiko, because that's quality shit right there.
Like a good fucking vodka.
That sounds amazing.
See, but that's the thing is that I can't mix anything. Like we did Dr. Pepper. I can't do Dr. Pepper. It's got too much of a bite.
Too peppery.
Yeah.
Too much pepper for Dr. Pepper.
If you do like Pepsi with anything, or Mountain Dew, it's the sugar content in it that makes it so fucking damn good.
Definitely.
Or if you want to do another honey, Tennessee honey.
Ooh, I think I've had that before. The Tennessee honey whiskey. Oh my god, that shit's actually pretty good.
Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey.
Oh, I've had that. That shit's fire. Dude, that shit is fire. Dr. Pepper is a fake doctor. Dr. Oz status. Well, at least Dr. Pepper has something going for it. At least has a product that's selling you. It's a fucking soda. Dr. Oz sells you snake oil bullshit. And hopeless, do nothing dreams that mean nothing as he tries to fail at running for Senate. While fucking John Fetterman is literally just like creaming him. God, how did Dr. Oz get paired up to run against a dude who actually is at least worth a fuck? You have a dude is I'm actually.
You think Dr. Oz a fucking doctor, an actual doctor?
Actual doctor, he did for a little bit, but he basically realized that he can make a lot more money and gain more popularity for himself as in a career by basically being an online TV show, natural herbal, health dude or whatever the fuck, and basically sell snake oil bullshit and these weird weight diet things and shit like that. I also remember growing up hearing a lot about Dr. Oz because my mom has, a few attempts to try to do weight loss on top of things like Weight Watchers and shit like that. She got into one of his supplements as well, which obviously didn't help at all. Which, because he was, one of these other dudes that was kind of doing here's the way to help with weight loss, and it literally didn't do anything.
He never does.
He's a fake doctor. He's a grifter who sells supplements. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, essentially, with his doctor credentials aren't necessarily invalid, but he uses it for grifting means. Because he did, get a doctorate and actually, go into medical school and shit, but he just after a while realized I can make more money just grifting this shit. So that's what he started doing.
You know who else is a real doctor? Remember the guy from The Hangover? The Asian?
Oh, yeah.
He was actually a licensed doctor.
The actor that played that guy? Really?
He's a licensed doctor.
No shit. Wow, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, so is technically Dr. Phil, too, but he's not an actual doctor by any real name. Yeah. I mean, even then he's not really, because he just uses it as another form of snake oilery. Instead, he just does it as a way to just exploit people's problems on TV and scold and condescend them, and then basically just like, oh, all right, here's like a resource you can have after the fact. You know, we had like basically 40 or 50 minutes to like scold you and humiliate you publicly on TV and shit.
But see, you gotta remember is that his license of therapy is way different than an actual therapist. Because I've actually had a therapist who was fucking amazing.
Same here, yeah.
I miss him. He actually...
honestly, the therapist I had for high school and just for like the year or two after the fact, she was so fucking great. I kind of wish I had her as like a permanent therapist, but she was more specialized with dealing with high school students and shit like that, obviously, so...
Mine wasn't. Mine actually stopped... He didn't stop practicing, but he went and did missionary work.
Ah. So, decided to kind of work more in with the church and shit like that instead. Sounds like.
I don't know, but he was fucking chill. He used to take me golfing. He literally gave me my first legitimate golf clubs.
Nice.
But I known him since I was fucking like 10, dude.
Damn. Yeah, so
had him all
gone back a lot.
Had him all through middle school. Had him all through high school.
There's actually a therapist I had for like the longest fucking time that's like that too, but I haven't seen her in a long fucking time. I actually need it. I know her full name too. Obviously, I won't say it here. I know
mine too. His name was
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it here just because it's a stream, but yeah, you could probably tell me it later. But like, cause I know my therapist's full name too, and I'd say it right now. You know, just to let you know who she was, but just for stream factors, I just wouldn't necessarily want to pop that up. Well, actually, I can mute it real quick.
A place in Hillsborough that would overlook the one of the roads.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd sit there and start naming cars. He's like, "You really like cars, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, how do you know all these?" I'm like, "Because that's something I'm into."
Right, yeah. Dr. Oz shouldn't be a senator or a doctor. Oh, it's Scientific American. Yeah, also, because the reason why his wiki says Dr. Oz is spelled with, like, the accented O is because he's Turkish. He's a Mebritaz. Like, he's a Turkish immigrant that immigrated here. That's, at least his father did.
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, you wouldn't think Mehmet Oz isn't, but yeah, he was born in Turkey and his immigrated here with his parents. So, I mean, because his father was a doctor as well, so his doctor moved to the U.S. for, like, work visas and was able to get citizenship in the U.S. because of that.
Usually, like, fucking shit like that is just fucking weird because they're like, oh, well, I was a doctor, my dad's a doctor. It's like, you're just following in the family practice.
Yeah, it's just like nepotism,
really.
Why
don't you go do something else?
Yeah.
It's like my family, because my family grew up in Troyman. My dad was he'd go out and clean where the bus stops are. He'd go and clean Max. My stepmom was a bus driver for 5.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then she became a fare inspector. And she retired. My brother still drives buses. Or my stepbrother still drives buses. And everybody's like, oh, why don't you go to Drama? You got so many family members. I'm like, no. Sorry, I don't want to join the family practice.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a thing about like, you know...
Well, see, that's the thing. If everybody figured out who I am, they'd be like, oh yeah, your dad was a dickhead. It's like, yeah? You're now figuring that out? That my dad is a complete ass?
I mean, honestly, not realizing it, but it was kind of the same thing for me at Safeway because my dad used to work for Safeway, working at the gas stations over there. And actually had the same PICs and everything when I first started there, when he was working over there. So it was like, oh, wait, didn't your dad used to work here? I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, we had to let him go because we found him drinking on a job once, actually. Hope he won't do that. And I'm just like, don't worry, I'm not even like that at all. It's like, I don't like the fact that he did that, but yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting to find that out. I was like, oh yeah, we had to let him go because that. And like, because I never knew why he lost a job there until they told me, like, years after the fact. And I was just like, okay. Though, frankly, honestly, given his lifestyle, yeah, probably is the case. Because honestly, especially in like the last 20 years, is probably the main reason why he would probably lose a job is pretty much that type of shit. I went the opposite. My dad is a lifelong landscaper. My mom went from landscaping to massage, and I'm a technician. Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't really go into the whole, like, I guess the nepotistic thing either. Like,
I mean, you gotta look at it.
I mean, you did a little bit because you did private landscaping shit for high school and a little bit after the fact. But beyond that, I mean, not that much. You gotta look at it
this way too: is that if you're a private landscaper, you get fucking bank.
Oh yeah, because I mean, in a lot of ways, you can. I mean, obviously, you're the one who sets your own rate. Price. Yeah, set your own rate, and and a lot of people legit probably see a lot more benefited paying for that versus full on company because sometimes
full on companies will fuck you.
That too, yeah. I mean, because if you have one person and they have like at least a decent record, especially in the local area, and seeing that person working out some yards with like a few other neighborhoods, or like a neighbor down the block or some shit, you're gonna be like, all right, I've seen this kid do some work here and there and shit. Like I could trust this guy to do a little bit of landscaping here and there. I made shit wages as a landscaper. You think Logan paid well? I mean, yeah, honestly, I bet it wasn't great. I mean, honestly, like, when it comes to being, like, a high schooler and shit, I'm pretty sure, like, that money was, fucking nice, but, I mean, especially given these days, and especially being a teenager, yeah, they're shit wages. Like, they're definitely not going to be, quote-unquote, livable.
I made more in high school than anybody else that I knew worked.
Yeah, like,
I was bringing home.
I knew a couple kids like that, too, where they would not doing shit like McDonald's or things like that, where they work, like, like a job like that, but they would do other side shit, and make a lot more.
State of Oregon.
Yeah. I hate that work. I prefer the pizza places. Yeah, I mean, I actually, used to, I never mentioned it too much, because I never really actually made it, like, a full-on business thing or whatever, but I did some landscaping for some of my family friends, and yeah, I never really liked the work in itself either. Like, I like working with land, but if it's just like pulling weeds and just that's like it, I mean, I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna suck. I only worked summers in high school. Yeah. I mean, but nonetheless, I mean, especially when you're a kid, like, that is going to be some pretty decent little change. It's like, oh shit, this is a lot of money, especially when you're a fucking kid. Because you never really, like, have money in the first place that often, in the first place. So it's like, given the circumstances as, a teenager just starting, to want to try to make your own money and be more independent and that type of shit, I can get it. Though there definitely needs to be laws and some things in place where it's a little bit more legitimized when it comes to people like that being paid.
So Andrew, tomorrow morning if the power's not back on, install the generator around and plug in the fridge to the generator.
Okay, well, from my understand, they should be resolved by tomorrow morning. And because I went up there to see Mom and get a lot of this bullshit, straightened out, and should be taken care of. And if it's not on somehow for some reason by tomorrow, it most certainly should be the day after, but it should be on by tomorrow. Well, I guess technically later this morning. I mean, because it's like 2:20 or whatever the fuck, but.
Either that or you could go out to the box and pull the switch.
Well.
Like a giant light switch.
Unless they locked it.
Well, I mean, yeah, because we also could technically turn on the water meter if they shut that off, but there's technically fines and penalties if we were to fuck with it. Yeah, but frankly, as far as I'm concerned, part of me don't give a fuck. It's just like, but I don't know how severe those fines would be, so I don't want to fuck with that.
I know where the water switch is.
I know where it is. I know how to turn it on and off too. So. What?
Right.
I know it.
Right on the building.
I know where. Yeah.
Big switch and just click.
I know exactly. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's technically
water-
something you're not allowed to touch because that is specifically the city's property. But it's just like, fuck you. I mean, a little bit
You know why they put it so close to the curb, right?
easily, more easier accessible.
No, because they own 15 feet of your.
Yeah,
They own 10 feet
Oh,
of
that's
your
6 feet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because 6 feet.
Whether that was the power or the water, but you turn it on.
I know the water switch is something that we can definitely manually turn on if we wanted to. That obviously, like, because I saw the switch thing, and we have at least until 5 p.m. tomorrow to pay that off, or else they shut that shit off, from what I understand. So
What, your water?
that's from what it said on there, but that's just literally because, like, so the full story from now, what I was able to get through is basically, because, like, my mom, like, her body wasn't necessarily produced in this auction, so that's the reason why they had her in there. But she wasn't exactly 100% aware and cognitive when they were doing this. So they just kind of, like, took onus of just, like, you know, handling her shit and taking, you know, what, you know, she might need, you know, like her phone or charger and shit like that, and all this other stuff, and not when she's not exactly, like, you know, aware of any of this type of shit. It's like, even if, like, she might necessarily need those things, you might as well just leave it at the place where it's at until she's cognitively available, so she can let you know what she needs, and then you can bring it up there later. But no, that's not what happened. So essentially, from what I can get the gist, that, like, the EMTs, like, they had it in, like, this bag where everything was collected in, and they just forgot to fucking bring it in there with her and shit, and thus it just got kind of lost, you know, and included, like, her phone, the charger for it, and her dentures, and I think, like, one other thing. And now it's pretty much it. So it wasn't, like, a lot of things, but kind of some important shit, especially when it comes to, you know, paying bills. So it's just like, I mean, that's the main reason why, like, this is pretty much, like, kind of all got fucked at this point, but at the same time, you know, realizing how I can also, you know, potentially even myself get on there too, I'm gonna, you know, see what information I would need for that, because Mom's like, yeah, I'll just get a little notebook set up for you, and I'll have, you know, this information for you too, and blah, 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 so, I mean, she's on the same page as me about, like, also having more direct ability to pay for bills too as well, and shit like that, so. Because obviously, in case, you know, something like this happens, or she forgets, or, you know, maybe she isn't necessarily financially able to, but I have the, you know, I have the money in my pocket or in my account, and I could do it. So, I mean, you know, so it's just so much bunch of bullshit, but nonetheless, you know, at least makes things, you know, hopefully more, you know, streamlined out to where it's not fucked in the future where this happens again. It's fun having my, like, satanically ritual candles lit everywhere to where I'm about to do some ritual sacrifices, but, you know, I like being lit. I like power. I like being able to charge a phone casually by putting it in an outlet. I like having a freezer that's on, you know, so.
I like having my tablets way more.
Yeah, you know, there's, like, you know, I like my modernized first world privilege, so, you know, I'd like to have that back, please.
My tablet's at 7%.
Yeah, cooking food is also good.
Yes.
That too, yeah. I'm literally, like, I had to go to Wichita to get fucking food. Like, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just, like, going to the pub. I'm gonna go to my work tomorrow, just hang out there probably a good chunk of the day, if the bat rate on yet. And just hang out there. Just play on my laptop or some shit. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hang out in the break room, just charge my laptop, fuck with the Wi-Fi on that shit. You know, just fuck around there. I mean, they can't say shit. I mean, I could definitely hang out at work and be behind the counter and shit like that, even if I'm off the clock. I would just have to have a hairnet if I wanted to. Obviously, I'll be off the clock, wouldn't be helping people. I honestly might do that, just to, like, charge up some of my shit a little more, just hang out at work, just kind of chill, fuck around a little bit. Just kind of see how things are doing. That actually might give me an opportunity to talk to the store director too a little bit there. Get that shit dealt with, and then, yeah.
So is she actually taking the time to actually figure out why you're not getting paid what you're getting?
She is aware of it at this point, but I just haven't gotten the chance to directly talk to her quite yet. Because pretty much every time that I see her, I'm either helping a customer or she's busy talking to some other people, so I can't directly get to her quite yet. But last time I saw her, I was leaving for lunch, and she was about to leave for the day as well. But I let her know, and she's like, "Yeah, just next time you see me, when I'm available, just pull me aside again, and we can figure that out and blah blah blah." So she's aware of it at this point.
Unlike Mark.
Yeah, well, unlike Mark, she's actually, like, being proactive, like, yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, because Mark would literally blow it aside and basically be like, oh, I'm not aware about what that is, just let me know later and I'll, get back to you with that. He would just be very dismissive about it. She was actually be like, yeah, let me, she was being a lot more proactive with her reaction about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, she's definitely, more, she's just definitely, she's really a night and day difference. I mean, it actually is weird to be able to like go up to her and that like, all right, I can work with her and have some shit figured out, so it's weird, but it's actually quite nice too.
Come on, Itchy Scratchy.
You remember the old store director at fucking Safeway, right? Because he used to fucking work up there and shit.
Who?
Mark. We don't have him anymore, by the way. Because I know he used to work at the gas station up there. For back, like, I don't even know when. Like, he was pretty much like someone who was pretty dismissive, wasn't he? And shit. Like, I mean... Or was it just to a point where you just never ever saw him or interact with him, like, whatsoever?
Well, I interact with people.
Well, I mean, like, with the store director, though? Like, I mean, was he somebody that was actually, like, kind of out and about, seeing how his departments were and shit like that?
His departments? His department. Yeah, fucking right. That guy didn't even know from his fucking ass.
Well, that's kind of the problem, you would think, though. Like, I mean, considering that it would be a store, you would, the departments within that store would technically be under his jurisdiction to make sure they're running properly. But no, he never thought.
Fucking PICs.
Yeah.
It's PICs and the fucking leads.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the ones who are on the ground to directly handle that, but, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like, the store directors, I would say are the ones who should at least be like, all right, PACs are checking out, make sure the shit's good, so I don't have to worry about it, and make sure that shit's on the up and up. I mean, yeah,
he was in the office 90% of the fucking time.
Exactly.
He wanted to do something.
Yep, pretty much. Like, unless he wanted to do something himself, he was just in the office the entire fucking time. Jessica, though, she actually will, like, be out and about and fucking, like, even if she doesn't necessarily maybe want to, like, I could tell with her face sometimes she maybe doesn't necessarily want to, like, stock up the wines or something like that, but she'll do it. Like, she'll go out of her way to do shit.
I actually went to Safeway today to get a fucking Pepsi, and they had no fucking 1 liters in the case.
Damn.
And I can't believe you guys actually got fucking doors finally.
I know! She's actually, taken time to, like, upgrade some shit at the store as well and things, and it's just like, she's actually, kind of taken, some, ownership of the place and actually, like, has been investing, some of it in there, to accept, some costs a little bit in a quarterly, to actually make it better so it, the next quarterly actually improves overall regardless. So it's just like, I mean... Again, it's like she actually...
It looks better.
It does. I mean, even I think it. Like, honestly, there really is, like, a legit night and day difference, I feel like. I mean, there's still definitely a lot to improve and needs to work on still, but... I mean, just noticing how much has changed and stuff. Even some customers have noticed. Like, I've noticed you've been changing things up. Things looking a little better. I've noticed you got, like, doors on your freezers now. I'm just like, yeah, like, we got a new store director and blah, blah, blah. And, things have actually been better because of that. And, we still got, some stuff that we need to deal with. But, it's... there's been noticed a lot less weight on the shoulders, all in all, because of these things, so...
You're actually fixing shit?
Yeah.
Like your fucking sandwich holder?
Yeah.
I saw that last week that it was getting fixed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Are they actually doing something?
Yeah, and in the last day I was working there on Monday night, they were upgrading the case that we used to have our meats in and shit, our pre-packed meats. They were upgrading that, so that should be upgraded at this point. So honestly, it's just nice, like actually seeing someone who's supposed to actually do their fucking job when it comes to operating a store.
Yeah.
It just makes it that much more, comfortable in a sense to approach and talk with that person too when it comes to just my, and when it comes to just like a daily, employee needs too. Because there's just a sense of like, hey, this person actually gives a shit. At least enough to want to make sure that, things are running functionally, running smoothly. Which requires at least some emphasis on making sure that your workers are at least decently happy so things, are running functionally. Because if they're not happy, things aren't running functionally.
Put the way down.
I mean, at least for me, at this point, like, whatever, like, frustrations I have at work are basically just, like, at my own department now. And it's just because of, like, mainly what some people in the morning, act like, and shit during the morning. Because a lot of it... This fucking moth, bro. Really? Because a lot of it is basically just, like... Really, I don't even know. Like, not, like, 100% doing their job, basically, I guess. I mean, that's pretty much all I can get. Because, like, at least the two main sandwich people that we have, like, they're supposed to at least have our, at least by the end of their shift, have, like, our sandwich case, for the pre-made sandwiches, stocked up. At least with the cans stocked up. And have the sandwich bar stocked up. So, throughout the rest of the day, if people want sandwiches... people during like the mid/closer, so I have to worry about running back and forth grabbing fucking ingredients and shit. But I don't know if like they stock it, but because they do all their whatever pre-packs they do, these basically unstocks the sandwich case and they just don't restock it, or they just take out what they need and that's it. And basically just, like, kind of leave sandwich bar just, like, left alone. I don't know, but it's kind of, frankly, fucking annoying. Because that's the main reason why, especially a lot of people end up getting kind of pissed, wondering why our sandwich bar is closed. And it's just, like, I just, like, frankly, I can't give them a straight answer. Like, because there really isn't. It's like, I mean... it's like technically I could have it open, but you would have to, basically instead of, like, maybe a 3-minute routine, it would be, like, 15, because I'd be having to go back and forth. You won't have all of the ingredients that you might want, and it's not exactly going to be great. You're not exactly going to be too happy when it comes to fucking the quality of the service. Like, would you rather just be declined the service or just have in general just kind of shitty service because we just don't have everything we need here? It's just like it's just a double-edged sword situation. It's like you're going to get someone who's just kind of frustrated and either somewhat disappointed or, just kind of frustrated and impatient, with how long it took, or just have someone who's just upset because the sandwich bar is closed. I mean, you basically have to kind of pick your poison of that. And a part of me is just like, I just honestly would rather have it closed and just have them, just kind of, like, as much as I hate it, be kind of upset that we don't have one and hope that there's at least some sandwiches in a pre-pack that maybe they can grab there. Like, that's pretty much the hope at that point, because, like, fuck. I mean, just, like, nothing there, basically, like, no meats, barely, breads or whatever the fuck, then what can you do? So, it's just, like, ugh. And then also, it's just, like, sometimes, like, some people morning, like, I know one person that does, like, the salad case and shit. They, like, pretty much never do dishes and only, like, strictly do the salad case and don't really do much else. And it's, like, I mean, the salad case doesn't take that long to restock and refill and replace. And also when it comes to doing dishes, you have to just basically take that power sprayer and just spray it off, put it in the fucking dishwasher and let it go through and it's good. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? But no, they don't want to, I guess, for some reason she don't want to do that because that's not a part of her job, even though it kind of literally is. So, it's like, I mean, because especially when it's a salad case, like, yeah, you need to kind of not just replace it, stock it, but also, like, make sure the dishes of that type of shit is clean and make sure they're also put away. And, when you're done with that shit, just, like, make sure other stuff is, like, taken care of. That makes it easier for the mid and the closers, for their day. So, like, I mean, it's not exactly that much of rocket science, like, at all. But nonetheless, it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, the people in the morning would at least, just be a little bit more up and up on their shit. It would just be easier for, the rest of the workday. Because at this point, I mean, it kind of stems on that type of shit. And the fact that a lot of them also leave early. Like, some of them will leave, like, up to, like, 30 minutes early, an hour early, 2 hours early. Sometimes even 3 hours early. And it's like, you don't think that fucks with people? Like, when it comes to the rest of the shift and the rest of the day? Because, I mean, yeah, sometimes I might show up like 20 minutes late or some shit, but what fucks with people more? Leaving like 3 hours early or 2 hours early or some shit, or showing up 20 minutes late? I think there's time differences, that are stretched out here that are a little unfair when it comes to the criticism here. Because I know a lot of people in the morning critique about, mainly, like me and a couple other closers, from maybe showing up late or calling in occasionally or some shit. But they'll leave early pretty much like every fucking day. And it's just like, I mean, it's like I might show up maybe maximum 30 minutes late and then like on average 15 or 20. But like, and that's when I am late. But like fucking, I'm like, that's not an everyday occurrence. But yet y'all leaving like pretty much every day like an hour or so early, give or take. It's like a little hypocritical, I would think. But luckily, from my understanding, the store director is also wanting to crack down on shit like that, which, even for my own sake, is a good thing. Because, I definitely want to make sure I'm more up and up about my own attendance as well. I definitely don't want to, have, myself being 15 or so minutes late, give or take, or some shit like that, be like a habitual thing. So, that's definitely, I think just for the benefit of everybody, probably a good thing. Just have, like, the whole attendance thing, just be more on the up and up. Because, it shouldn't just be for myself, but it should also be for the people in the morning, because if their attendance is leaving fucking early, then that should be kind of addressed and shit. Because, yeah, they might, hate having to work there and shit, but frankly, like, at the end of the day, would you think that your own personal lives and your own off time would be a little better if you had a little more cheddar in your pocket? I mean, it's like, come on, honestly, frankly, for the job that we do, we get paid alright. Even for me not having my full journeyman wage and shit, it's like we get paid pretty decently in comparison to a lot of other jobs out there. So it's just like, I mean, it's not that terrible of a gig. But yeah, it's like, honestly, the reason why the gig ain't even that bad is just because we're a fucking union workplace. I mean, there's no reason why it's like, why unions are such a good thing, because like even if the work legitimately isn't really that great and sometimes you want to blow your brains out or some shit while working there, like I feel that way sometimes, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, pay's actually not like utterly shit. Like, I mean, because I know for myself, like if I were to work, in a lot of other places, especially being non-union workshops in a lot of other places, like my, day-to-day pay would be a lot more shittier. So, I mean, it's kind of like a cost-benefit thing. Especially for a new contract, I mean, there's definitely more incentive to at least stick around, at least see how things work out and shit overall. Just because with the dollar increase every year, I mean, holy shit, that's like, I mean, on top of the state minimum wage increases and everything else in between, it's like, god damn, yeah. Like, I mean, that's like some good shit in my mind. Like, I'm really happy that our union was able to get the contract that we were able to have, because that 1 year, that dollar every August 9th increase and shit, whew, Oh, baby, that is some good shit. Like, that's a legit incentive to work at a place. Like, hey, you know, if you stay long enough, you get a dollar increase just guaranteed. Fuck yeah. So, and also our newest coworker got signed up for the union too on Monday when I came back from my last workplace. So one of the union organizers was happened to be there and recognized me. It's like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? It's like, and while he was getting her signed up and shit, and it's like, oh, not much, getting her all signed up and shit, and she's like, yep, you know, and all that. And it was actually pretty cool to make sure to kind of see that going on. Because she didn't necessarily look like she was as informed about unions and stuff like that, totally. But she was kind of aware of them because she was saying that her mom, her dad would love the fact that she was, you know, signed up to a union. Hey, Sukov! So, I could tell she's aware of them, and seems like has a somewhat positive outlook to it. So, next time I work with her, I'm going to see about, you know, kind of radicalizing her a little more. Because he was pointing out, because on my work shirt I have all my union pins and shit like that. He's like, obviously we got here, you know, a very proud union member, you know, with all of his pins and stuff. And I just kind of sat there and just kind of chuckled because, like, yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. I was also telling both of them too at that time, like, honestly, I'm not just like pro union with just ours, but just in general, and also just, you know, pretty knowledgeable about the, you know, union history when it comes to like the Brendan Rosa strike, Blair Mountain, and so on. And the other guy was the organizer signing her up was actually kind of impressed, like, oh shit, like he actually he legit knows his shit. So that's nice. I honestly definitely want to try to kind of get a little bit more directly involved with our union too when it comes to like organizing like what that guy does. Just because I know, you know, especially when it comes to like going to different workplaces and different workshops that are tangential to the union and shit like that, it'd definitely be, I think, a very great opportunity, not just to obviously, you know, get new people like that, you know, signed up to the union and shit, but also, you know, inform them, you know, just on just generalized union history and labor history too. And that's, you know, outside of just being an organizer and, you know, in that front, you know, it's also, you know, a great opportunity to be an educator too. Because in a way, it kind of lets people know and kind of get informed about, like, you know, what it took, you know, at least in historical sense, you know, what it took to get a lot of the rights and, you know, and the benefits that we have today, and what, you know, a lot of that struggle can bring forth, you know, in the long run, especially for your future generations and for future kin. You know, so it's, you know, it's something that, you know, can help, you know, kind of solidify in people's minds, especially if they're just joining up as they just join in to the workplace and shit, you know, to get, you know, at least a little bit more seed planted with the idea about, like, how to, you know, get more involved with a union when they're now officially a part of the membership of them. Because once the time comes around when there's like a new contract ready to be negotiated, or, you know, for whatever reason, maybe there needs to be a strike that needs to be held for improper conditions or whatever the fuck in between that, or whatever the hell, then, you know, those people are, you know, being new members, but also being at least somewhat informed and at least somewhat educated to an extent, can understand how to potentially use that knowledge to help benefit, you know, their own workplace and move forward and make their general conditions better. But no, I mean, My workplace definitely's got its problems, but I definitely say that, I mean, especially, at least for the union aspect of it all, I mean, at least for me, I definitely think, it's worth it. I mean, the work is definitely unforgiving. And definitely not exactly thankful in a lot of ways. But luckily, I mean, there's definitely people with them. A lot of, especially like the mid shift crews, the cooking crews, the closers, and my assistant managers, like pretty much the people that I more directly work with. Unfortunately, not people in the morning, which are people that would, I think, if they were, working with us more directly and actually were be able to, like, converse with us and, talk with us more and shit like that, if, I don't know, if they didn't leave early, would be able to probably understand our situation better and maybe have a better cohesive communication and better abilities to make the workplace a little better overall, because, I don't know, instead of leaving at, like, fucking 10 or 11, they'd be leaving at, like, maybe at, like, 1 to 2. But at that point, some of the people who are either mids or closers will be showing up, and then maybe if there's something that they wanted to pass down to closers, they can tell the mid shift, and then thus they can pass it down to the closers. Or, if they're leaving, or if they're close to show up and they're about to leave, then they can at least pass it down as they're leaving. Some shit like that. Or maybe we could tell them, hey, can you make sure that this and this, stocked up, blah, blah, blah. So we don't have to go back and forth and, trying to make sure the sandwich bar is good or whatever the fuck. Shit like that. I mean, makes the workplace just that much easier. And plus, I don't think it adds this, like, vindictive, like, gossipy, like, spite bullshit either. Because, like, I know some people in the morning talk a lot of fucking shit, to some people in the closers, including me. And it's just like, fucking really? Like, are we serious? I mean, for fucking what? Because, sometimes we might show up just a tad late or something. I mean, while y'all leave early all the fucking time, it's like, doubled standard. Pretty hypocritical in my mind. Took off. Hey. Come on, bro. Enough about work, at least for the meantime. Let's see what's going on tube here. What the fuck, Reddit, lol. So wait, hold on. I guess you popped this up right as I saw something too, but here. r/hole up. Nice recommendation. Suck on Nick. Try your homie's dick instead. Sucking cock is a safe alternative to the consumption of nicotine products. Ejaculated semen is shown to have several beneficial nutrients. Trade Nick for dick. The real cost? No way this is real, bro. Hold up. That ain't real. Dude, someone printed this off as a troll, dude. There's no way this is fucking real, bro. There ain't no way this is real, man. The real cost. I mean, I will admit, there is technically some beneficial nutrients in sperm. But that's just because, like, there's literally, like, a sugar cocktail that's attached to them, so they could survive for, like, 3 or 4 days. Like, there's a reason why they do. It's because so they can live for a while as, a single cell, so they can travel all the way up in the fucking uterine lining and fucking find the egg and fight its way to fertilize it. Like, that's the reason why. I mean, there isn't exactly, like, besides that, there isn't, like, fundamentally, like, if you took that away from it, like, oh my god, okay, whatever. Like, yeah, like, I don't think smoking a cigarette is the same as chugging some dick, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's, those are not the same at all. And you can't inhale nut. You can't inhale a nut. Like, you can swallow it. You can't swallow smoke. Like, cause, like, oh my god. This has to be a troll. That has to be, like, a troll fucking print. Like, someone did that as a fucking meme. There's no way that's, like, you know, actually done by, like, the real cost fucking, like, anti-smoking agency or nonprofit or whatever the fuck, dude. I don't buy it. Like, this is a troll, man. This is like somebody just put this up as a troll. I just firmly believe that. If it was like fucking... I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, if it was... I don't even know. Like, that's just I don't even know, dude. It might be the government of British Columbia legit did glory hole advocacy prior to COVID vaccine. You are not fucking around with me, are you? You are actually serious. The government of British Columbia legit advocated glory holes. I mean, one, that's based, and two, that's like, I did, like, what? Like, based, but what the fuck? A government was advocating that. I mean, I've been to, like, some bars that legit are a little bit low-key sleazy as hell. I've been to some restrooms that legit been sleazy, and I have never seen a glory hole. But honestly, though, I kind of want to. I kind of want to see, like, you know, the glory hole and just kind of, like, you know, see what's going on with that, you know what I mean? I would never partake in one unless, like, I had a absolute confirmation of who was on the other side and was clean. And, you know, but beyond that, like, there's just no way. Really? I've seen glory holes at the Bozeman Walmart. No fucking... What the fuck? That's funny. Well, I should go to the Walmarts in Bozeman to go see them and see what they look like. I mean, obviously they're just a hole cut out in a fucking, like, bathroom stall, but, I mean... like, I mean, the fucking, like, writing, you know, I imagine there's, like, some random, like, writing and vandalism all over it besides just that, so... I'd be curious to see what, like, you know, writing a text would be around it. Coronavirus glory holes, sex... Wait, try glory holes for safer sex during coronavirus, CDC says. British Columbia CDC. You fucking... wow. British Columbia health officials are recommending an age-old, occasionally cutting-edge tactic for sex during the coronavirus pandemic. Glory holes. I guess it's because, like... I mean, despite the lack of 6 feet, you know, distance and shit like that, the bathroom stall essentially makes it so you're not, you know, like, getting breathed on by the other person. So, if you're going in for the suck, like, the chances of, you know, one or the other getting COVID is actually legit kind of minimal because... Like, they're not, like, I mean, well, I mean, not really, though. Like, what the fuck? Like, this wouldn't even stop, like, this wouldn't even prevent it because there also would be, like, saliva and then, like, like, there would be all that going on. And you would think, like, you know, it would be able to be transferred through all of that, right? Like, I mean, especially if, like, you're kind of breathing and, like, you got, like, glands and shit like that. You know, like... I don't know. Like, I feel like, you know, that would be a little, like, it's a little counterintuitive, despite the logic. The British Columbia Center for Disease Control added new recommendations for socially distant sex to its COVID-19. Yeah, so, essentially my assumption. One of those tips was trying to use a glory hole. A hole cut through a wall that's large enough only for a penis to slip through. We get what a glory hole is. Yes, thank you, Global News Canada. Glory holes are typically... Oh my god, we know! Use barriers like walls that allow for sexual contact but prevent close face-to-face contact, the health organization writes on its website. Oh my god, dude. I mean, base British Columbia? Question mark? I mean... I for one, you know, I'm not like somebody who's gonna, like, not advocate for glory holes. I mean, let him be a thing. Like, I mean, whatever. I mean, who cares? It's not like anyone else is going to see besides the two people who are having the interaction, you know what I mean? It's in bathroom stalls, so who gives a fuck, you know? Like, you might just hear someone go, ugh! But just imagine that dude's just taking a gnarly shit, okay? That's all you need to know. Just imagine the gnarly shit being taken and, you know... Like, I mean, if it's in the bathroom, that's what you should imagine. So, I mean, you know, come on. Absolute Units comments. This titan of a tiger. Holy fucking shit, dude. Dude, did this tiger, like, find, like, a supply of steroids? Dude, this tiger is a fucking unit. Dude, this tiger is a fucking unit. He's like a chunk, but like a unit. He's like one of those Icelandic strongmen if he was a tiger. Like, this is like you know those Icelandic strongmen. You know what I'm talking about. Like, this is basically one of those guys, but a tiger. Like, that's just what we're looking at right here. That's just like an Icelandic strongman if he was a tiger. That's basically is what that is. Frosted Flakes. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, they're great! Why is the bathroom stall required? Just drill and improve a wall. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bathroom stall. What if you're at the glory hole? You can't see what's on your side, but a very familiar voice comes from it. Igna, I don't have much time. I'm you from the future. I mean, if it's myself, I mean, the question would honestly, the true question would be, is that incest? It's literally fucking yourself. Like a clone of yourself, or you from the future, or you from the past. Is that incest? That's the true question. Or is it just basically like you're jerking yourself off, but it's actually like, you know, you, but another being of, like... That's the true shit to think. And also, is it gay? Is it? We're in the mood if you're there for the glory hole. It's always deposited Taco Bell. The few stalls over. You don't know, man. Maybe that person's into it. Maybe that person's into hearing that. Maybe in the background they want to hear it. Oh my god, you know there's some weirdo like that. Hell nah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, hell nah. I mean, I'm still hell nah. But there are legit people that are fucking weird like that. It's just like, what? But, I mean, it's just, this is humanity. This is the human species. Like, I mean, that's not even the worst of what humanity is capable of. You know what I mean? I don't even need to, like, name examples as to how or why. We just know. We know. We don't need to explain how or why. We just know. We don't need TMI this shit. But, like... just realize there's just, like, things that humans take pleasure in that are legitimately 1,000 times worse than just, like, someone hearing someone just deposit Taco Bell in the background and now just know there's things way worse that people are into. What? Who knows? Don't care. We don't need to know. But, yeah, there are people like that. And should they probably be locked up in a mental asylum? Probably. But, are they out there? Yes. once you nut the link ends. So what would be the point of your future self, at that point? Like, if it was just there basically to nut in yourself, I mean, what would be the point of your, this? At that point, I'd question why my future self was there in the first place. Like, is there a reason for that to be the case of what would need to be done and what was necessary to happen? Like, I would imagine there would have to be a logic to why that was the case. So, I mean, it's like, quick, we don't have much time. Did my last comment not show before the last one? Wait, hold on, oh, wait, hold on, fuck, I didn't even, okay, hold up. Yeah, I didn't even see that. I could tell you were vitally important knowledge that will prevent a third world war, but I have to have sex to keep this link strong. Once you nut, the link ends. But, okay, so, well, alright, well, if the link ends, but he has to keep having sex, but he nuts, but that's a part of sex, so how's the link end, though? Is it because he's no longer having sex after the nut, so thus, like, the link ends, but he has to continuously, like, so do I have to basically, like, continuously edge him forever? So he can very much, like, share the knowledge of the Third World War to be prevented and shit like that? Like, some John Connor shit or something? Like, sending Kyle Reese back in time? Like, I mean... I left early for high fever on orders of my AGM. The general manager comes busting down my door an hour later and calls the cops. Wait, what? Yes, the title says this story is batshit crazy. It just shows how awful managers are to their workers, and this happened a few weeks ago. I'm a 23-year-old female and work for a nice daycare. We are doing some COVID screenings, mainly temperature checks and masking. I went to work that morning feeling fine and great, but as I went on, I started feeling really tired and sick. My assistant general manager, kind of like a vice principal, saw me resting during that time and asked me if she could check my temp. I planned on coming to her anyways when I got on break for lunch, but I'm lucky she found me because my fever was 102. She's an amazing woman, immediately sent me home with instructions not to return until I felt 100% better. So her assistant general manager actually sounds like a good person and somebody who's proactive and cares about the safety of the workplace and the children that are obviously at the daycare. So her assistant general manager sounds like a good person. I went home, popped some pills, and fell asleep on the couch. My husband was still at work, so I went home by myself. I woken up by an hour later by a loud, and I mean fist-pounding loud, banging at my front door. So my assumption was right. What the fuck? Okay, wait, where was I? My dog is going nuts, so I grab our gun. No shit, I would too! Because I'm thinking someone's trying to break in. I peel out the peephole, my general manager, the principal, is beating on my door, screaming my name. I hope she still is holding it, because holy shit, oh my god. I would be like, holy fuck, my general manager, like, wants to kill me or some shit. Like, what the fuck, this is insane. I'm not answering the door, I'm keeping the gun on me, I'm calling the cops, and... like, I'm wondering what the fuck is going on because this is insane. Like, holy shit. Like, nuh-uh. I would not fuck around with that. What the fuck? Oh my god. Like, honestly, I don't even care how chill the assistant manager was. I don't care how chill maybe the coworkers are and shit. I'm quitting that fucking moment. Oh my god. That is insane. What? Holy fuck. I'm not, okay, so it keeps going. So I'm not answering the door. I'm honestly scared. I would be too. She's screaming that I need to come back to work, and I didn't tell her I left so without a positive COVID test. I had to come back. Fuck that. I go back to my room hoping that she just goes away. My car is parked in the garage, so there isn't really any way she can see if I'm actually home or not. After a couple minutes, I get a phone call from my mom, who lives 4 hours away, sobbing that my general manager called her saying I was missing. Missing. What? What? Oh my god, I just read further. This actually gets fucking worse. My boss knew I was home, and if honest God I was worried I was missing, would have called my husband, who was first contact that actually lives in the same fucking state. Oh my God. If she had a pistol, I honestly would have just honestly barged out that door and started pistol whipping the fuck out of this piece of shit. Holy fuck. Like, oh my God. What? This person is fucking a psychopath. What the oh my God. Oh. At this point, I would have started taking some action. Like, and nobody would like it. I walk to the door, yank it open. My mom's still on the phone when I see police officers outside. This woman called the police for a welfare check. See, I would have called the cops with her, banging at my door. So that wouldn't have fucking happened in the first place. Oh my God. Like, this bitch is insane. She's a fucking psychopath. Like, she ain't your fucking, like, property and your servant slave, you fucking general manager whore bitch. You fucking cunt. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Luckily my store director is not like this, but for some ungodly reason, she was like this, and I was like, say 5 minutes late, and all of a sudden, I just have her banging at my door like, where the fuck are you? Why are you here? Or some shit. I would be freaked the fuck out, and honestly would have the same reaction as her. I'd be like, gun loaded, I'm calling the cops if she fucking runs in my property. I'm self-defensing myself. Because holy shit, this is insane. Like, I mean, this is like straight up like some intruder level shit. Like, this is invasive on every fucking level. Like, what the actual ungodly fuck? I'm a hella I don't even know if Karen qualifies this. This is like a interdimensional meta Karen. This is like, this is beyond a Karen. Oh my God. Oh my God, this gets worse. For those of you wondering, well, if she went as far as call the cops that you're missing, maybe she thought you were. No, I know this because after explaining to the officers I was fine and just sick, she smugly walks up to me and says, I fucking quote, I knew you were there. You need to come back immediately. We have no one to cover you. I'll wait here to follow you. What the fuck are you? Some sort of like slave plantation master or some shit? You psycho bitch? I'm gonna be sitting on my front porch polishing the fucking, bolt of my rifle and, waiting for you to fucking leave. Like, Like, hey, I'm 6 feet distance, I might be sick, but I can be on my property. You go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Psycho bitch. What the fuck? Ah! This makes me fucking freaked out. Like, this is making me, like, mildly paranoid. It's like, Jesus. This story, dude. What the fuck is this story? I told her to fuck off. No shit. I would, Ow, 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 ow. Oh, one of my candles burned out. That's sad. You know what? I'll do this. Yeah. Lotos Dominos. Bringing another can down. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna move this. How am I gonna do this? There we go. Wait, did you... Oh, is it just still in there? I didn't even... Luckily, I wasn't playing anything yet.
I wasn't asleep. Okay. Up for...
Hold on, you gotta... Oh my God, you have to hear this crazy story. Here, let me do a quick summary. So, like, this woman... I'm reading this r/anti-work subreddit story, and this general manager basically fucking... so this woman called in sick at her work because she had a major fever and shit, and went home because her assistant general manager sent her home and shit after doing a temp check on her. And then when she woke up from her nap, fucking the general manager, the main principal, basically started banging on her fucking door, screaming her name to fucking basically come back to work and shit. And she grabs a gun and basically, is like wondering what the fuck is going on, realizing it's her, and then just goes in her room and hopefully that she just kind of fucks off and goes away. And then this same bitch literally calls a welfare check, calls her mother saying that she's missing, and has the cops show up because they think that, she's missing or some shit, doing a welfare check on this lady for literally going home sick after her assistant general manager fucking basically, sent her home. And then the same general manager has the audacity to come back after this lady explains the situation to the cops to be like, oh, I knew you were there. You need to come back immediately because no one can cover for you, and I'll stay here and wait for you to come back so I can follow you back up there. And it's just like, what the actual fuck? Like this, and the story keeps going on too. Like I haven't finished it up entirely, but like it's just fucking like insane. But it keeps going saying, I told her to fuck off, and if she ever came back to my house, call the police. I had to call the police for a restraining order. I never went back and put a report to the corporate branch, and from what my friends told me, they canned her after an investigation. Well, good. I'm glad for that, at least. Sorry for the long boast. I'm still in shock of it all. Apparently, she harassed other teachers as well. All this mess because I went home sick to protect my students. ETA, I typed poop pills, but I meant popped pills. Also, yes, I quit the exact moment I have found a much better job. As far as legal actions go, I don't know if she could face anything for a simple welfare check, but I definitely will look into it. I hope she legit gets legal restitution for that shit, because that's fucking insane. Like, honestly, the whole detail of the story is fucking psychopathic.
Okay. On the fact of talking about fucking police and bullshit. Why is it always when somebody gets shot, they perform CPR?
Because people are kind of low-key dumb.
No. Cops shoot somebody and then try to perform CPR.
Because frankly, I don't think they're actually properly trained on really much at all at this point. In fact, I know there's been investigations and studies into it where like some police departments have actually looked at it. If some hirees have too high of an IQ or too high of an intelligence, they won't even accept them. So there's like a level where like some of these departments legit probably just have people that are not exactly bright and that don't know exactly, what to do when it comes to like someone getting shot or some shit,
No, but it's the cop who shot the person and then they try to perform CPR.
You would think...
Isn't that fucking weird?
It's weird and kind of dumb as shit, because you would think like, hey, if I am somebody who is trained and professional in operating a firearm, I should know how to treat firearm injuries because I might also be injured with one too.
But also think this. They're also taught not to shoot to kill. But how many fucking reports have been on the fucking news
and how many
kill them?
Yeah, and how many times do they literally like mag dump a motherfucker, and shit? Like, I mean... I know there is like this. There is a guy that does like this whole cinema thing that will go to different academies and different departments, and the guy's calls like his whole cinema thing like killology, where it's basically like how they essentially will treat it like, you have to like basically think that it's a war zone, or like people can be potentially like an enemy combatant type of thing, hence the whole killology type of thing. And it's just like, where if you're stopping someone, they could potentially be a threat, unless you detain them and, have them in your total control otherwise and shit.
I've looked at it like this. Somebody who is not armed, but they still shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, I also remember that one dude who was at the hotel in Arizona or some shit in the hallway, and he literally had, like, his hands up, and he literally got, like, magged up by an AR and shit that this cop had because his shorts fell and he was trying to pick them up, so he can kind of crawl forward a little bit like he was told to. And because he barely moved his hands down to try to pick his shorts up, and there's obviously, like, literally no way to, like, have anything on him, considering what he was wearing, a loose t-shirt and some loose shorts that are falling off of Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious. If there's something on him, you would see a silhouette of something. But, you know, besides, like, despite that, like, and also if I remember the details of the cop that did that killing too, he also had engraved on his weapon that killed him with, I forgot what it said, but I think it said, you're fucked. Like, straight up, like, engraved on it, you're fucked, because, and was known to be a little bit more of a hot shot, you know, because he was in the veteran and military too, and wasn't exactly, you know, 100%, you know, keen with the rules of engagement, played loose with it, you know, from what I understand too. There was some details about him and his psychology a little bit that, you know, kind of played on to how he, you know, treated that person. I forgot the name of the dude, but...
Well, looking at it, I do realize that if you shoot a cop, they are going to return fire. That is the rule.
Oh, no shit, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you have a weapon and you shoot a cop, they would, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, you're fucking...
I mean, at that point, they're calling in pretty much like every form of reinforcement they can, you know, to fucking, like, you know, stop your ass at that rate.
But they're not... but they don't place their shots.
They really, like, they really honestly don't.
Well-placed shots can put somebody down.
And also not kill them either.
And not kill them.
Yeah. Like, there, you know, you can actually, like, you know, do, like, you know, legs or even, like, lower gut shots and not kill somebody.
If somebody's holding a weapon, then yes, I'm gonna go for the fucking arm.
Oh, yeah.
Go for the arm that has the fucking weapon. I'm not gonna fucking shoot him right in the
or at least
chest.
mid-chest or something where, you know, they might be holding it too, because then that might hit their arm and, you know, maybe a little bit of the gut. So they're going to be going down no matter what at that point. And maybe even their gun too. So then, you know, if their gun gets shot, then, well, there ain't no way that's going to be operable once a bullet goes through it. Or it gets lodged through it.
Literally along the lines of, I just watched a video of a guy who got fucking shot. Had no fucking weapon. Yes, he was resisting arrest, but that doesn't give you the fucking fact to pull out your gun and fucking shoot the guy. Somebody.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I can understand maybe tasing the dude, you know, maybe try to keep him like, you know, and like, so you have an opportunity to, you know, put cuffs on him. I can maybe get that, but like, fucking pulling out the Glock or whatever the fucking your sidearm is, like, that's just insane at that point.
An officer got fucking fired for pulling his gun on a fucking lieutenant.
Ooh.
A army lieutenant. And pepper sprayed the fuck out of him.
Oh, I know what story you're talking about.
Because they didn't have...
Wasn't that lieutenant like a black army lieutenant or some shit like that? And because they basically...
Black and Latino, yeah.
Yeah, they basically profiled him and, you know, harassed him and shit. And yeah, like, I remember the story you're talking about. When I read up about it, they didn't have the verdict on it or anything yet, but that's actually...
the cop got fired.
Yeah, well, nice, good.
We also gotta realize, they were pulling him over because they didn't have tags, but you can see in the body cam footage...
Yeah.
That he has his temporary plate in the fucking window.
Yeah, he does. And also he was cooperating, but, you know, because he was being, you know, like, pretty much trying to be more explaining, you know, instead of just, like, being a totally obedient, cooperative person.
He was trying to figure out why he was getting pulled over.
Yeah, and they just wouldn't necessarily explain it to him. Like, he was trying to cooperate and be like, hey, what's the main reason here and shit, and... They just weren't cooperating with him and purposely trying to escalate that shit.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted an excuse to, you know, pull him over and arrest the guy.
Yeah,
at that
pepper
point.
Sprayed him.
Yeah.
His own fucking vehicle.
Yeah. Which is just
and
fucking ridiculous.
Said, my dog is in the back choking.
Dude, I saw it. Oh my god. Man, if that was... even if I was pepper spray and I started hearing my dog go on that, like, I even in a pepper spray mode, I don't even know what I'd do. I'd probably start snapping a little bit. Because, especially if Zukov, he's so sweet. Like, oh my god. I don't even know, dude.
But they basically... Because his windows were tinted and they couldn't find a temporary tag. But in the body cam footage, you can see the temporary tag.
It's like... Yeah, didn't he even pull him over in a gas station too? Yeah, so there's also bright lights under the whole gas station. So it's like, hey, even if you do pull him over, it's like, hey, we just want, we didn't see tags on your plate, and you know, we just want to know if you had any temporary tags.
But they came up to his window with fucking guns drawn. It's like, you fucking retard.
I know, yeah, that's exactly. It's just like, all you have to do is kind of, have them roll the window down and be like, hey, we just pulled you over because of you don't have temporary, we didn't see tags. Oh, we see that you have temporary tags at least, so that's pretty much all we need to know. And we don't really need anything else out of you, so we just wanted to make sure you're good.
They didn't want him to press charges because the guy would have lost his military.
Yeah. Which would have definitely fucked him, but obviously, especially with the body cam footage, which honestly is why cops need to have that as a mandate, because, like,
they do now.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if I know it is, for various different cities and departments, and different states, but I don't know if it is on a totally federal level. Is it now?
You have to have a body cam. Why do you think people have their fucking cell phones running when they get pulled over?
Well, I would too, just in case, honestly. I mean, because, who knows? Like, because there's always going to be, potentiality that you have somebody who wants to, just like, have a little hotshot authority jerk, a little bit. It might not be pulling over you for any good reason.
That's kind of the fucking
outside just to fuck with you.
That's kind of the fucking stupid thing that I've looked at is, I've never been pulled over. Actually, take that back. I've been pulled over, but I've never been ticketed by a cop.
I mean, I've never driven, so I haven't, but I have been in vehicles that have been pulled over, and sometimes they have, and sometimes they haven't. It just kind of depends on. It always depended on one, the cop, and also to the person I was with too, and how they were acting. And every time they were always acting very polite and trying to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be very, just super cooperative," in the hopes that they will let them off.
If you're cooperative with a cop, they will work with you. If you're not cooperative, they're gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is that, like, if you have one that has a power trip, sometimes they'll give contradictory shit too. So it's just like, sometimes it's also.
Or the ones that always walk up to your window. I smell weed in your car. It's like, how the fuck do you smell that?
It's like,
I don't smoke in my fucking car, and you smell weed on me. You're funny, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it sounds like you have weed in your house.
Are you sure that you smell weed in my car? That's why fucking when Sarah had her best friend, I told her, I said, you're not smoking in our car. She's like, what do you mean? I said, this is my car too. Me and Sarah both own this car. You're not smoking in my car.
Well, you was no angel. My friend Roski had a bad record. He literally started celebrating one time when he found out the cop had a cop was federal, so he wouldn't count against the state driving record. Nice. I smell weed. Fuck you, it's mine. You can't have any.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that I do vape in my car.
But that's not necessarily
weed.
Yeah.
But if they come up, oh, I smell weed. No, you don't. Can you search my car? No, you cannot, sir.
You don't have a warrant to search my vehicle, so no, you can't.
No, but the funny thing is if you actually read your rights, you actually have the right to refuse.
Yep.
A search of your person.
Yep.
And your vehicle.
Yep. Yeah. Even when I was there was a few times where me and my friends were doing some more scrupulous things, in high school. But there was, and one time, it was actually the time we were spray painting our old high school again before it got tore down. And my friend put some of our like spray paint in my inner coat pockets in my leather jacket, and like I think there was like 3 cans, so we were able to stuff it in my inner jackets. But my friend had his backpack, and my friend had a plastic bag of some snacks, and that was it basically. And the cops happened to pull over and stop us for a second, and they wanted to search us. And it's like, because my friend had his bag and my buddy had his backpack, they're like, do you mind if we happen to search your stuff? It's like, well, we know our rights and we can refuse search, but just because, we don't want to seem untrustworthy, we'll let you. We let them have the benefit of doubt and let them search our shit because, well, the illegal stuff they want to see is on me, and they didn't look at me at all because I don't have a bag or anything. They just saw me wearing a jacket and thought I'm wearing a jacket, nothing else. So they searched their shit, didn't find nothing, and just let us go. But it's just like, we could have still refused, you know, to search, and they couldn't do shit, and it would have to let us go either way. But just so they can get off our back and not have the fuck of us later, you know, we gave them a benefit of the doubt and let them, you know, comply anyway.
Funny factor. I used to carry knives. I still carry knives to this day.
Oh, yeah.
I had a cop pull me over in my hometown. And he asked me, he's like, do you have any weapons on you? I said, yes, I have pocket knives. He's like, okay, where are they? I said, I think I had one on me. I said, yes, left pocket. He's like, okay, can I get in and check it? I said, yes, you can. He pulled it out. He's like, oh, it's legal. Basically, if it's bigger than the palm of your hand, you can't carry it.
That's just kind of a...
It can't be concealed.
Fair enough, because like you can you can open carry a knife, but you can still carry one if it's I guess that's a fair point.
I've always carried a knife, and it's one of those stupid factors that I've looked at. It's like, if you're gonna fucking pull me over and try to check,
I guess that's why Harley always has one holstered on his belt.
Yeah, they always tell me, they're like, oh well, if it's bigger than the palm of your hand, you can carry it. And I said, yes, I've known this. But it's one of those stupid factors that I carry knives that...
I didn't necessarily know that, but I kind of figured a little bit, just because, like, pocket knives are always so small.
If it's bigger than the palm of your hand.
Yeah. That's such kind of arbitrary, though, because everyone's palms are different sizes.
Doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but it's so arbitrary too. Because what if you have a tiny ass palm? Because you have like Trump hands, where they're like so tiny and like little michis.
Yeah, it's still kind of
like, what if you're a dwarf or something, you know, and you got like these little hands? You know what I mean? Like, you're fucked. You're gonna have the tiniest little knife.
It's still one of those factors that you can carry a Bowie knife on you and you can't get arrested for it.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
I mean, I could carry that big ass one. I just have to have it on side my leg.
Well, I mean, basically with me, I'm not supposed to carry a knife at work. And you think that I'm going to leave my knife at home, and the one day I get jumped is the one day I won't have it. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, technically I'm not supposed to at my work, but I do anyway, just because of, you know, for box cutting and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, pretty much, like, no, it's not, it's like, at least for our place, it's not enforceable, because unless you have, like, some fucking, like, Bowie knife or some shit, you know what I mean? Unless it's that, I mean, it's not a big deal if you have, like, your little, like, you know, flip open box cutter knife and you fucking, or, like, a flip open pocket knife and whatever. Like, no one cares, really. I mean, like, half of the people at work use that shit,
It's kind of funny, because everybody's like, oh, your knife's a switchblade. No, it's not. It's called auto assist. Yeah, you're like, oh, they're not legal. I'm like, yes, they are.
Yeah. I love how people don't necessarily know, like, knife laws like that. Like, it's gravity knives are, I think, are the ones that are the most regulated type of knives and shit. Like, because there are some places where those are illegal. But not everywhere. To an extent, yeah.
But you cannot have one that is, you press a button and it opens.
Yeah.
I literally have to flip mine to have it open.
Why does it smell like skunk? I haven't showered in a while. It's not a knife, it's a paper cutter. Yeah, there you go. I bet this is like the equivalent of like gun culture talk to people in England.
Fuck yeah.
This is just talking about pocket knives and different things and such what. Fucking T-taxers.
My phone went to 79 and then it stopped.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
You did. It brought my phone from 50 to 79.
It got up there.
Yeah. And
it went up there a pretty decent amount.
Motherfucker. Damn it.
It went, I mean, you know, honestly, if everything works out that I think it should, hopefully things should turn on by sometime tomorrow. I mean, I'm not 100% certain, but it should.
Well, how much is the bill?
I didn't see that specifically, but it's something that I know from what she was saying. It's like, yeah, I could handle this and have this fixed up by tomorrow. Yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm going to call up, make sure, and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so whenever I wake up tomorrow, and that's going to be, like, one of my first phone calls. And I was also going to call my granddad and a couple other people. I'm meaning to call up some folks and shit anyway. And some of them hit me up for my birthday, so I'm just like, hey, good opportunity. My name's Skunk. Shower Skunk.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I know there's like a plant that has kind of a skunky smell, but it's actually legit kind. But it's actually legit kind of good, like, because we used to have it growing on the side over here, like on the ground next to the gate, but I don't think it really grows there anymore. But we used to have like a nice little patch of it, and it was like this skunky minty smell, and it actually was a really nice smell, strangely enough. Damn right, it got too real. I once arrested for killing a black man. They charged me for impersonating a police officer. Wait, what the fuck? Dude, what? Whoa. Dude, you got... Oh, wait, hold on. Is there a full story? Is there, like, context to that? You can't just, like, leave me with that quote, dude. You just can't leave me with that.
You hear about the guy who's impersonating cop?
I mean, there's been a few of these type of dudes. I've seen a few of these videos
He was riding
recently.
around on a motorcycle.
I think so.
He was doing funeral I can't say it. Profession? Or whatever it was. Yeah, he finally got fucked for it hard. And then he also got charged with SO.
Damn.
Yeah, SO really screws you over. Bad.
In England, it's like, did you hear what Scott did? What? He was caught carrying a knife 0.20 centimeters above the legal limit. Oh my god, that's so badass. Oh my god. Funeral procession.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Not really, just a comment. Oh, that's what it was, just a Reddit comment? Damn. Is AI generated art actual art? Yes, no, unsure. I say yes. I mean, it's not art made by a human, but I mean, it's still randomly generated, or maybe at least partially generated, you know, to some cohesive order. You know, so I don't know. Like that whole Dolly, you know, AI generator thing that shows like the 9 images if you type in a prompt or some shit. I mean, those little images are technically art. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say AI generated art's art. Also, the Till Lindemann from Rammstein, he has a solo project that's his own name, his own solo project. And he has a song called Es weiß es nicht, that is basically an AI generated music video. And it's really fucking cool. I mean, I can't play it, but maybe I can kind of show some of the video. But this entire video is AI generated. The entire video. Like everything, you know, outside, like the music itself is made by Till and, you know, the musicians around him and shit like that, but the entire video itself is an AI generated video. Wait, it's actually playing from my earbuds, so I can listen to it. This nicht. Du, 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 du. Weiter, das ist, wenn es perfekt aus Mist. But it's really funky. I mean, obviously you can kind of tell there's a little bit, you know, like this is just all like kind of an AI generation type of thing. But it's fucking whack, but I love it. But yeah, I mean, it even says there, right there, an official AI video, but it's, the music video and the song itself, it's actually really awesome. Because, I think, hold on, I used to Remember, it's something. Ich weiß es nicht is hold on. I'm actually gonna have to Google it really quick. I'm gonna have to Google translate this bitch. Cause I used to know it, but obviously right now I'm gonna have to just kind of look it up again. Wait, where's my search? There it is. Google, you're being dumb. Okay, there we go. To English. Here we go. I do not know. That's what it's translated to. I do not know. Which honestly, the overall song is at here. Let me actually copy all that. I want to copy this. Select all, copy. Because the lyrics to it are actually pretty cool. Wholesome memes got banned from Twitter. What? No! Wholesome memes? They're wholesome though. What the fuck? That's some bullshit, dude. Anyway, but here's some of the lyrics to As weiß es nicht. I don't know what's my name. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I don't know where do I come from. I go, but I don't know where. Forget every day, forget every night. Where have I been? What have I done? How did it start? When did it start? Where have I been? What have I done? I don't know it. I don't know it. And I keep running on alone, always running on. And when it rains on me. And the clouds keep passing by always. Keep passing by. Eventually, I'm always wet. I don't know what time is it. I don't know what day is it. I don't know what did I talk about. And neither did I say neither. And what did I say neither? And so I keep running on without stop. I'm looking for something, but I don't know what. I'm totally alone. I'm always alone. It's sunny everywhere, but there isn't any sun above me. None, none, none. I don't need any mirror. I don't know about my face. I only run digitally at night. Hide me in the light. This is some kind of deep shit, not gonna lie. Damn, are we reading The Hobbit? No, this is the lyrics to Is Weiß es nicht, to that music video that I was just showing. This is some of the lyrics to the song. Which honestly is deep as fuck, especially considering it's an AI music video. I think it honestly makes it even more like kind of impactful because I think the song is meant to be more like from the perspective of the AI almost. Like they don't necessarily, like the AI itself doesn't really know what the real true time of it is outside of what it's really told. You know, from what it understands from what it's been constructed from, and it doesn't really know, like, you know, what it really is outside of just being like this lone artificial thing. Just kind of isolated. It's kind of almost like humanizing the AI in a sense, almost. I mean, at least from, you know, the lyrics and from the music video and kind of, you know, adding. Have you read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream? I haven't read it, but I know of it. Like, I know about the themes and the some of the aspects of it, because I've seen a video about it. At least I remember seeing a video talking about the video game of it. Like an old-ass video game from, like, either, like, the late 90s or, like, the early 2000s or some shit under the same name. People say it's because they supported trans issues. I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised because, from what I understand, saying TERF will actually get you yeeted off Twitter. Like, that's why some people will actually put, like, you know, a star or, like, you know, some sort of censor in the word TERF. Is because, like, Twitter will actually literally fucking yeet you for that. Like, they would literally rather support TERFs than fucking, you know, advocate trans rights, I guess. So, fuck Twitter. We're at the point where the 2000s is considered old. I know, dude. What the fuck? turf. I'm out of the loop. The fuck is that? Well, you almost spelt it correctly. Replace the U with an E. Trans exclusionary radical feminists. You know J.K. Rowling? Lady who wrote Harry Potter and all that shit? Like, she's a radical feminist, but she's extremely transphobic and against trans rights, and also kind of a low-key, like, willing to honestly undermine feminism a little bit for the sake of that. But it's basically, that's what it is. It's not like the good kind of turf, like surf and turf. Yeah, exactly. It's the shitty turf. How does that even work? Radical feminists who oppose trans rights, huh? It's because they basically think that men who identify as women are just trying to, you know, take femininity and, like, womanhood for themselves and undermine what real womanhood actually is and shit like that. It's actually just basically a conservative version of feminism. If you really break it down, it's basically traditional conservatism, you know, kowtowed as fucking feminism. A lot of the same type of archetypes about this radical feminism that's actually just kind of conservative-based feminism is also very anti-sex worker as well. Like, they think women who are more promiscuous and are more libertine with their sexuality is, like, undermining that stuff in a weird way somehow by making it, you know, impure and violated by, you know, the manhood or whatever the fuck, or some weird shit. I mean, there's just like there's some weird cockamamie bullshit with TERF ideology, honestly. I like the FART acronym for TERFs better. Oh, what? Oh, who made that up? Wasn't that Demon Mama who made that up? Like, it was, or who made that? It was I don't know who. What did it stand for? I forgot what it stood for, but I kind of liked it. Fart, fucking assholes, disrespecting trans. It wasn't that, but it pretty much was that, though. I think it was Demon Mama. Was it? Didn't Demon Mama say that on her conversation with TJ? I honestly loved how both of them had face paint on, but TJ basically just slam dunked it with the face paint. While Demon Mama had her, like, traditional Demon Mama trans, you know, logo that she had on her head. Like, TJ was like, just had, like, full-on body art going on. Honestly, like, TJ's make me want to, like, get into that a little bit. Like, I've done it a few times before, and I love doing it in the past, so, I mean, a part of me honestly wants to do that a little more. Like, you know, maybe, you know, after work, before I start streaming, I, you know, put up some basic face paint or some shit. You know, just kind of whip up some shit. I mean, I don't know. Like, TJ is honestly making me kind of wanting to get into that a little bit. I mean, it's not really just because of that, but I also do love the idea of, like, you know, face paint, body paint, you know, shit like that. You know, so, I mean, I don't know. I might do that in the future. Might try that out. Might experiment a little bit. You hate me because I'm a woman. You hate me because I'm a Christian. No, it's because you're both absolute nut jobs. Yeah, essentially. If you happen to be a woman, who cares? If you happen to be a Christian, well, I don't necessarily like that, but at least I can maybe not give a fuck depending on how you go about that. But considering that you're a fucking psychopathic nut job, well, nah, I don't really approve of you. Tell her wife to shut up and make her sandwich. Well, funny enough, she'll basically tell you that you remind her of her abusive husband and how that you're just some sort of weird, crazy, white, misogynistic fucking shitbag because of saying that. While she does that in her fucking literal castle that she owns and lives in, by the way. Like, she literally owns a fucking castle somewhere in goddamn England, dude. Like, I'm not even kidding. I shit you not, she literally owns a castle. Just a little reminder about her fucking. Isn't J.K. Rowling white? lmao, dude. Yeah, she is. But she'll be like these abusive, evil white males and their misogyny. Like, again, she's a TERF. Like, she's a trans exclusionary radical feminist, but at the same time, she's weirdly neoconservative about it, but feminizes it. Dude, they're not consistent and they're fucking weird. Okay, don't try to make me explain J.K. Rowling. I can't. She's just nuts. Like, maybe she made some cool stuff with the whole Harry Potter stuff. I personally haven't read them. I've seen stuff from the movies. I haven't seen a full movie of any of them. But, I mean, maybe there's something to Harry Potter. But, I mean, beyond that, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about her. I bet they agree with Republicans on restricting reproductive rights. I don't know what her stance is on that, but I guarantee you she probably has an agreement to that. I remember movies being really shitty. Again, I don't know. My mom wouldn't let me watch them, at least growing up, because she thought they were propagating witchcraft to children. I shit you not. And honestly, because of that, I frankly just never bothered getting into Harry Potter. So, like I knew, a lot of people were into it. I mean, honestly, there wasn't necessarily anything that kind of had a hook for me. Like, it looked interesting, but it didn't really hook me enough to really, be curious, despite the taboo that was indoctrinated into me. I just didn't care enough. It was other shit like metal, fucking furries, and other shit that my mom was being heavily taboo about that got me more, rebellious. I was allowed to read the books, but never the movies, with the exception of the first one. Are you... Wow. Well, I guess your parents are a little bit more chill about it. The books are good, according to 8-year-old me. Well, I'm sure the books are probably good. I mean, again, I haven't read the books, and I've only seen some clips of the movies because there's, memes, and they're on YouTube, and, they're more accessible. But for the full movies, I haven't seen a full movie, so I don't know. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. I don't fucking know, and a part of me doesn't really care. I mean, maybe they're, if I have, just that much free time where... outside of other shit I want to check out first. I want to look at Picard, I want to check out Discovery, or Star Trek Discovery. I want to check out those two Star Treks. I want to check out, what is it? The Boys. I want to check out that series. I want to check out Prey. There's a lot of things I want to look at first before I even get back into that shit, honestly. Or not even back into it, or just start with that. I mean, there's plenty of things I want to get into before I even get into Harry Potter, honestly. I think I read all the... I think I read all the books that were at the time, but again, I was 8 or so who knows? Yeah. If there's a spell named after her, it would be Craziest Bitches. Craziest Bitches! Because she is a Craziest Bitches, dude. There's also way too much kinky sex shit with the franchise, even though most of the characters are underage, so I'm not really into that shit. Well, from what I understand, there's there's this area of the whole Hogwarts place where it's actually a marijuana fucking chill room and shit, where there's herbs and stuff, and there's scenes where in parts of the book where the kids sneak in there and basically smoke wizard weed. And basically because they're obviously teenagers, they're probably gonna be obviously for puberty and shit like that, so thus there's probably going to be some of those elements and played onto it too. So I guess I could kind of understand it a little bit. I don't definitely remember that. There's honestly, if you read it again, if you go back, from what I understand, because I've heard other people talk about Harry Potter because they have seen the movies and they have read it, the books and shit like that. That's from what I understand, from what other people have, said when reading the books and what they remember. So, from what I understand, I don't know where in the books, but I'm not going to read it again, lol. Yeah, I mean, I figured you probably weren't, but if you decide to, for whatever fucking reason, you might find that in there, but... From what I understand, there's wizard weed in there, and the kids, sneak in there and fucking smoke wizard weed. So, yeah. And also there is scenes where they do kind of get promiscuous with each other, but there's also like in Hogwarts, like the art and like different pictures and paintings actually are like cameras basically and can like see you and watch you. So it's like they always usually get caught and shit like that. So I mean, there's some weird shit in Harry Potter from what I understand. I guess super fucking high and pirate the X-rated version of Harry Potter. Oh my god, I bet there is. And I don't even want to know, dude. I bet if you went on the hub and looked up like Harry Potter, I guarantee fucking to you there's some shit, dude. I guarantee fucking to you. I'm not gonna brave it and go, you know, sail those seas, but you know what? I guarantee it, dude. I guarantee it, man. I'm not gonna sail those seas. I ain't gonna sail the oceans over there, but I know it, man. I know if you set sail out there, you'll find land. You know what I mean? You'll find some land, ho, I tell you. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Man, the other night, we were like, God, there was some shit about some Godzilla and King Kong that I was just like, oh, no. On the hub? X-rated Harry Potter? The hub? Yeah. The reason I bring him up is because a lot of people acting like they never liked Harry Potter before Rowling went in the deep end, but according to TJ, he was the only person he knows of that was never a fan of her. I mean, at least for me, I never really knew or gave a fuck about her up until her transphobic nonsense. So, at least for me, I can at least, you know, have the, you know, I guess the admission that, yeah, I hated her when she started going off the deep end, but that's just literally because I didn't know or give a fuck about her before then. Like, I mean, as far as I knew about her, I knew she did the whole Harry Potter stuff, but outside of that, I didn't know or really care. Like, because I never read it and shit like that, so I didn't really have, like, a connection or an affinity, you know, to her because of it, so. I mean, for me, as soon as I realized that she was kind of, like, off the deep end and kind of a little bit of a psycho bitch, like, I mean, that in itself pretty much solidified opinion. But, I mean, like, I also have the position if I separate art from the artist. So, I mean, if Harry Potter is actually good, whether it's the movies or the books, I mean, you know, then they're good. But, you know, am I, like, for me personally, at this point, am I really gonna go out of my way to read the books or watch the movies? Probably not. You know, maybe it's good. Maybe, you know, like, I'm not gonna not gonna say that there's, like, nothing to it. Like, obviously, a lot of people have, you know, an affinity, some value to the art and to the franchise. So, I mean, there's something to it. But, you know, I mean, for me at this point, you know, it's probably, like, I guess, too little too late, you know, to get into it. The furry adaptation. Is there a furry adaptation of that? You know what? Honestly, there probably is. There probably is, honestly. I guarantee it. Dude, yeah, I guarantee it. Dude, yeah, if you're guaranteeing it, it's just solidifying that in my mind. It's like people who like, Cosby was never funny. Really? Is that why you were doubling over laughing? Yeah, for real, dude. I mean, I can at least still look at Cosby and still find it funny, even though he's a fucking, literally, gel-popping, fucking, Quaalude-dipping pedophile. Well, not pedophile, but... I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we don't know if he did that or not, but, like, definitely a rapist, like, type of fucking freak. Like, it's just like, I mean, he's done some fuck shit, but, I mean, at this point, it's like he's so old. I mean, he's already kind of... he already got away with it. I mean, you know, it's like... he's so old. Like, I don't even know how, like... McMortian has always had cringe Cosby takes. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could kind of get it, though, I guess, because of how fucking old he is. But, like, I mean, honestly, it's just like... if he's guilty, just have him a house arrest. I mean, yeah, he has, like, a whole ranch and, like, basically can be isolated and alone there. Like, as long as he has caretakers, yeah, like just have him a house arrest and never let him leave. Like, there you go. Like, he has to be in house arrest for the rest of his tenure of his life. There you go. Like, that could be his punishment, then he can, you know, then no one has to deal with his ass ever again, unless they decide to visit his fucking property. But they would have to be vetted for his fucking security that he has there that are fucking, you know, there via the state. And obviously the state's going to be overwatching whatever interactions are going on, so he's kind of fucked if he wants to, you know, be doing any weird little quaalude, jiggly, biggity, boogity bops, you know, and all that shit to any other women. You know, so it's just like, he'd be a little SOL if he wanted to keep doing that adventure anyway. So just, you know, just let him be on house arrest at his fucking ranch and let him just stay there as far as I give a shit. I mean, make sure he, you know, like, yeah, you know, charge him, you know, making him guilty, but like, just leave him there. Like, because frankly, he's got like 5 years left, you know? So you might as well just let him just stay there and just never leave at that point. Because, you know, I mean, I could kind of get it, but you still have to be like, yo, I mean, he's still alive. We can at least, you know, make some accountability in that shit. But his ranch gets too ranchy. He's not like Pablo Escobar or some shit. Like, he ain't gonna be, like, making his ranch, you know, making his, like, prison ranch, like, some sort of, like, you know, private little paradise or some shit. Like, I mean, he's, like, I don't know. Like, I can kind of get it, but, you know, it's not like I totally agree to it. Like, I mean, raunchy. his ranch gets too raunchy. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, still, either way, I don't know. I can kind of get it, but, I mean, still. I mean, you should, if he's still alive, and yeah, at least he could still be held accountable. You might as well at least, you know, like, get something out of it, I guess. But, I mean, when he's basically like 10 years at most away from death, like, I mean, there's not really much you can do. So you might as well make the most of it, I guess, and just like do house arrest and shit at that point. It's like finding like a Nazi who was like, you know, one of like the guards on the watchtower who's like 101 at this point and charging him, you know, for like 20 years, you know, for the crimes he might have done. It's like, I mean, just having him a house arrest or some shit at that point. It's like, I mean, the dude's like so fucking old. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, how it's like, I mean, you haven't really exactly, you know, done justice at that point when it's just been so fucking, you know, like long ago, you know, at that point. Like 10 years, you know, it feels like a 10-year time span, I can get it, but like over 50, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it gets a little like, I mean, I could kind of understand the whole idea of maybe being a little loose about it, but I mean, it's only kind of understanding it. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean I like totally agree with it. Because Cosby should definitely, you know, be held accountable for its shit. Fucking weirdo. But yeah, where's been more? I don't know. I mean, I worry about him honestly, just because he's like a lot of his issues stems from the fact that he hasn't really exactly had really any sexual experience at all. And I know, for me, I've been in that position before, and I know how bad it can be. It's, like, pretty much an extra level for him, in a way. And it's, like, I mean, it's, like, I really wish there was a legit way I could probably help him out with that type of problem and shit, but it's just, like, there's not much, obviously, I can do in that situation. And then, obviously, there's, you know, the fact that just being across the country and shit, you know, there's not much, you know, communicate outside of just potentially trying to hit him up, see if he happens to hit me up back or something. And usually, sometimes he tends to be pretty vague when he does hit me up too. Outside of, you know, something that exactly isn't really too positive. And it's just like, my dude. Honestly, I think a lot of it is just the fucking area that he lives in. Same thing for Venom, honestly. I mean, it's just like, I think there's just so little opportunity of where, I mean, really kind of both of them live at, you know, for Alabama, and I think South Carolina is wherever, like, Charlottesville happens to be in. which I think is it's one in the Carolinas. I know that much. And because of that, there's not exactly much opportunity for somebody like him when it comes to wanting to find somebody that happens to be of a kindred interest or of a kindred ideas or mindset of him, which is frankly similar to a lot of us, outside of maybe a couple things here and there. And it's just like, at least in my mind, I would think, he legit probably would honestly have better opportunity, not just, for his own self, but even on like, sexual element, if he was around up here in the PNW. Maybe not necessarily in Oregon, but just somewhere up in the PNW, because, I mean, when it comes to more normalization of queer rights and shit like that, especially of him being bisexual and, at least somewhat of a femboy, to an extent. I mean, he has a little bit of that, to a degree. He doesn't like having facial hair at all, I know that much. So, I mean, he does, which is totally fine. He's that, actually, kind of rocks that type of aesthetic pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of aspects about him that actually aren't even that bad looking. He's actually a pretty good looking dude. But, I mean, it's just like, given where he lives in his area, doesn't exactly have much opportunity for who he is and maximizing that. So it's just like, I think that kind of fuels a lot of that, issues as well, outside of just the fact that, oh, I can't get laid. It's just like, well, I mean, like, it was like that for me for a while too, but I mean, it ain't like that forever, man. I mean, but at least for him, it's just like, I want to try to, like, just at this point, it's not exactly something you can really like say to him, but it's just like, I want to be like, hey, look, it's not everything when it comes to sex, and it's also like, I mean, you can't let it, be the thing that absorbs everything, when it comes to your mind and when it comes to what you think about, because it really ain't. I mean, I did, before, I lost my own virginity, but once it kind of came to the realization about the whole aspect of things, when it comes to that, it's like, it's not really as big of a deal as I thought. Because I remember a couple streams back talking about it, but it just kind of comes down to the fact that I think humans really, in general, just overthink shit. And this is just one of those things. And because there's a lot of other attributes, like social media, the internet, dating apps, like a lot of our hyper-capitalistic, like, fucking work grind, being on the clock, having to work all the fucking time, barely having time to yourself, amongst other things and shit, like all these other variables heavily, emphasize these problems and heavily, like, inflame these issues, and thus just add a horrible cycle of loneliness that we're starting to see right now. Like, because there is really a legitimate problem of loneliness, not just in this country, but even, globally to an extent. But especially in the U.S. and especially in places like in Japan and Korea too, and South Korea as well. Like these, because mainly these three countries, but not just those three, but plenty of other ones, are starting to see a lot of problems when it comes to loneliness and when it comes to these issues, and I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a coinkydink, but at the same time, I think there is an element that, people do overthink this type of shit, but it doesn't help that there's all these other things that are kind of forcing and enabling this sense of overthinking this shit. Like when it's like beauty standards and like, what type of consumeristic fashion products you should get into, whether it's like clothing or fucking perfumes or whatever the fuck, or, what type of standard you should look at when it comes to, an attractiveness or something that's appealing, or whatever the fuck, like all this shit. I mean, it's almost fucking endless when it comes to it, really. I mean, it's just like, honestly, it's really just like what plays the more bigger role and shit at that point, because all of them do. Oh man, I got two links. Here, I'll get the first one here real quick. Then I'll see this other one. A lot of anger is something that lives in a coconut. Wait, what? What is this? Is that a little hamster? Is this a hamster? What is this? What is this little guy? It's like, what's up, bitch? Gonna snip at you and flex. What's up, bitch? And then it starts sniffing. I mean, that's not much anger if it's starting to be curious and start being sniffy. Is there no noise to it at all? Wait, hold on. I need to make sure my Bluetooth is actually connected. I just kind of realized that it's not. Because my headphones are. I think it's like a hamster protecting her little den. It's one of the best projects in Portland history. OMSI District Master Plan seeks approval with Portland Planning Commission. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa. Renderings of what the proposed OMSI district could look like. Oh shit, there's OMSI. The submarine right there. OMSI there. Ooh. What's going on here? Ooh, some grass on the top of these buildings. Are these meant to be apartments and shit like that? The Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, OMSI district, is nearing a key milestone for the proposed 24-acre neighborhood. It is! In Portland's Central East Side. OMSI leaders are scheduled to meet with the Portland Planning Commission on Wednesday to present their master plan for roads, utilities, and other systems in the district. Hope to complete the missing segment of East Bank as part of the project. Oh, that'd be so fucking sick, dude. Where they envision a retail and office space, hotels, restaurants, as well as residential living within its boundaries. Sick. The project has been in the works since 2008. Wow. And its current estimates for infrastructure at $122 million. Woo! If the master plan receives approval from the Planning Commission, teams can begin construction on the different projects within the district. With OMSI's mission of science enrichment in mind, a large waterfront education park will stretch from one end of the district to the other along the Willamette River. Oh, nice! Oh, dude, I love it. Nice, dude. This would be based. Fuck yeah. There's a tremendous opportunity in the OMSI district to create an inclusive neighborhood. The OMSI district will be the first in the city to restore tribal presence on the Willamette. Really? An executive director of affiliate tribes on the Northwest. I clicked that. Get out of here. Northwest Native Americans, or Northwest Indigenous in the press release. Affiliate tribes in the Columbia River Intertribal Fish Commission are active partners in the OMSI district project, hoping to develop the Center for Tribal Nations within the new waterfront. Oh, cool. Hell yeah, dude. OMSI District Division comes from a unique collaboration of local, tribal, and regional government entities, nonprofits, and businesses, says Preston Green, Vice President of Architecture at OMSI. We believe this collaborative approach, grounded in public-private philanthropic partnership, will build a neighborhood that uniquely centered around innovation, inclusion, and sustainability. Sweet. Well, hopefully that honestly legit comes to fruition. Like, a part of me does, like, you know, want to hold my breath just a little bit, just because it's like, I mean, you know, I don't know how much, if this does end up coming to fruition, how much, you know, this would be able to, you know, be completed and actually legit be done. But, I mean, if this honestly does come into the fruition that it is kind of hoped for, I mean, this would be fucking amazing. Like, this would be insane. Like, because, especially of how close and how easy it is to get to from where I'm at, you know, like, this would be awesome. Like, it would just basically expand a chunk of Portland into something that would just be, you know, more expansive and help, you know, if anything, honestly, I think help, you know, restabilize a lot of, you know, potentiality to expand jobs, expand stability for people to potentially get housing because of that, because of the local jobs that would bolster from the district and shit, you know, when it comes to a lot of the ideas that they're kind of coming through with that, like the idea that, like, you know, restaurants and, you know, different things and some other local business can prop up from that. You know, so I mean, considering what Portland fucking needs, like, this is a holy goddamn fucking major blessing. A dense climate-friendly neighborhood, pretty much. I know, and considering especially a lot of the rendering from what I was looking at, and, I mean, a lot of the tribal influence and a lot of the climate beneficial influence in here, like, just from the general gist from my ratings so far, like, this would be the best thing that Portland has gotten in a long fucking time. I mean, outside of the Tilcomb Bridge, this would probably be the best fucking thing it's had in a long while, frankly. I mean, because I can't really think of anything else that Portland has really gotten that's very significantly substantial outside of the Tilcomb Bridge and the whole, like, Orange Line and shit like that. I mean, I'm sure there probably has been, but nothing, like, impactful like that. Like, this would be, like, a very impactful, positive thing that would just legit just help the fucking city. Like, honestly. Like, if anything, you know, there could be, like, honestly, especially considering, you know, that this might take, obviously, a long, you know, some time to develop and shit. Like, there might be a new city council in the future that potentially would be more progressive, like, you know, Joanne Hardesty types, potentially. So, you know, I'm just saying hypothetically here, where they would be more willing to expand and invest, and hopefully because of that, rapidly expand projects not just like this, but also maybe do that elsewhere in other parts of the city. And actually, you know, maybe legit start fucking making a shift, you know, for the better for Portland and PDX overall. I mean, because, frankly, I mean, this could legit, you know, be something good. That's about it from 2010. Our infrastructure has stagnated, unfortunately. So far, we have nothing for 2020, so unless you count that bougie hotel. And I don't count that. Like, I'm not going to count that bougie-ass hotel, because that literally, you know, took out a lot of fucking local businesses with the food carts. I mean, I know, like, the park nearby, you know, has been, you know, reestablished for the food court area for some of them. But I mean, like, not all of them have been able to go back there, and some of them have been closed down for good, and some of them just moved. So if anything, that bougie-ass hotel has done more of a negative than a benefit. At least so far in the short term. So, like, maybe it will bring some economic benefit once it's all completed, but as far as I'm concerned, I could give a fuck. It's like, it seems like it's hurt more of the local people that have lived here most of their lives, especially on that fucking lot. You know, that have been, you know, making a living there, you know, versus whatever is going to be made out of this fucking shit. So, ugh. It just fucking irks me, dude. That shit, like, I will forever fucking, like, piss on that fucking Bushi Hotel. Like, if I have to take a piss in Portland, I will, and I happen to be near that thing, that is going to be the building I'm pissing on. Because, like, is there even a demand for Bushi? No! Like, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I want that fucking hotel burnt to the ground as far as I give a shit. Like, I mean, fuck that piece of shit. Like, I want the fucking food courtyard that was there before it was built up. Like, or before it's being built up right now. Like, I mean, I want it before. I want it like how it was before. Like, I mean, that's how I want it, at least. I want the OG food carts back. But, I mean, obviously, I know for a lot of people, you know, they might retire and, you know, some food carts come and go. But, like, I mean, I want that court, at least in itself. Like, I mean, fuck that stupid shit. Like, I mean, if you want to, like, a bushy-ass hotel, like, Target Scientology. It's going to be like that red me button, Scientology versus Bushy Hotel. Yeah, dude, I mean, honestly, they should have hit the Scientology. Be like, hey, you're not using this for anything. We're making this a Bushy Hotel. Go fuck yourself. At least then, they wouldn't necessarily have to tear the building down. They could just gut the fuck out of it and just remake it into, like, a fucking hotel. Like, there you go. Piece of shit. But no, they have to just, like, you know, put a bunch of money so fucking, you know, contract for corporate-ass construction company can get a big-ass profit so a bougie-ass hotel can make a massive fucking buck later down the line anyway. It's like, fuck you, ugh. If the Scientologists built a bougie hotel, oh my god, if they did that, I swear to god. Just do that as a way to try to slowly but surely convert people into their fucking weird beliefs. Like, gross. Oh my god. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Get out of here, hamster. You're so cute. But go away, little hamster. Oh shit. The Onion Nuggets live stream is up and loaded. Lock and loaded. Scheduled for August 17th, 1 p.m. 8 hours. What? Oh shit, son. Dude, look at that thumbnail. That is beautiful. This is art. You could tell TJ fucking made this thumbnail. Got a massive onion with some motherfucker's face on it. Like, it is square, dude. It's just a fucking square. Got a very muscular black fella there on the left. And he got a... what, I don't know who on the right. Like, I'm assuming Arnold Schwarzenegger on the right there. Yeah, that is Arnold. That is Arnold. Dude, this is a beautiful thumbnail, honestly. I love it. Can we... yeah, there we go. Don't be dumb. Watch it. Yes. Yes, I shall. I shall watch it. Once it goes live at 1 p.m. Notification on. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Oh shit. Don't tell me you're out of battery already. No. Oh, you fucking whore bastard. You is. Fuck. That's some bullshit. Well. Ah! Looks like I can use it for its last little legs here. But, nothing in the meantime. So it's almost full 20 anyway. It's my glass little bit of this bowl here. Can't go for tonight. Oh, damn, portable charger died again. Well, I hope the power comes back on tomorrow. I swear to God if it doesn't. I hope it comes back on tomorrow. Seriously? Seriously, Ken? You have to do this to me? Wow. Anyway. I'm at the 420 mark, but I'll do a little freshy bowl. Oi. Dios mío. I'm trying to think, what should I have for my game plan tomorrow? I should at least get my change jar cashed in, because it's about like halfway full, so I imagine there's at least like, if I had to guess, probably like $40 in there. Given the tax on the Coinstar thing at my work, it's probably going to be more like 30 something, but hey, nonetheless, it'll be something. It'll at least be able to get me through Wednesday so I can have food in case this is still a problem by tomorrow. So I hope it isn't. But anyway, I'll get this last bowl smoked and call good for the night. Anyway, he's out. I shall see you all in that next one.